Here talking with senior Janiel Olson. Janiel, the team opened conference play with 2 wins last week at home. Talk a little bit about the team and kind of what you wanted to do going into those 2 games.
I think it was important to come out and protect our home court. That's something that's always been a huge part of our program. So we really put emphasis on not losing here, especially, that conference. Those were the first 2. Another thing is we were picked 7th, so we were tied with one of those teams, and I would think even below Central Washington. And so, that kind of put a bitter taste in our mouth, and it just kind of drove us through the whole week of practice to, practice hard, push each other, and come out and just protect our home court. And, we showed up to play, Thursday and Saturday. So I think overall the team was ready to go. Well, we're all we have out there. So, it is a battle. Every single one of these teams in the GNAC is going to be a physical game. Nobody comes out and has a bad game in the GNAC, and if you do, you'll get blown out by 40. And it's just important, on preparation and mental and physical to be ready to just play hard. And I think I got thrown to the ground probably like 4 times in each game, but you just have to get up and keep going and, focus on what's important. And, when you have your team picking you up, it just reminds you of, why you're out there. And I think that we do that really well this year. Is if someone gets knocked down, we're right there telling them, make your free throws or, good play. And just picking each other up out there because we don't get as many media timeouts, to go see coach and have him talk to us. So it's really put an emphasis on making sure that, you are a team out there each 10-minute quarter. It's coming, finally. The preseason was tough because I just thought I was going to come back and be, normal and the player that I used to be. And it's just different. Taking 20 months off is crazy as far as, time and things like that. I'm not going to say my brain forgot how to play. I'm going to say my knee forgot how to play. So these conference games were just a huge focus for me because, there's no more excuses anymore. It's conference, and whether it's ready to go or I'm ready to go, it's time to just buckle up and be mentally tough. And as a senior, I don't get to repeat these. So just coming out and playing hard was my main goal. And I think for the most part, I pretty much did that. I could think of a few possessions here or there that I might have missed something, but other than that, I just played hard. And for the younger girls, for how young we are, leadership and showing them, to battle through is something that was a huge emphasis for me too. And I think the girls, caught on and we just pushed on through. I think we need to focus on consistency. Throughout this season, we've kind of done the up and down roller coaster type thing. And even though it's not conference, these games are repetitions. These games are putting us in good situations. The teams that we're playing that aren't in our conference are still tough teams. And to come out and play our game and get that flowing and have, build the confidence within each player, I think is extremely important to come out and do against Western. And then when we take off to Vegas, get better. It's always about getting better. I think winning on the road is something, that needs to have a point of emphasis too, because it's hard to do, with traveling and not playing in your own gym. But I think it's a mental game too. I think that if we can focus on just the way that MSUB plays basketball and take it on the road, I think that that's going to pay huge dividends to go down to Las Vegas, get 2 wins, and then come back, have Christmas with the family, and turn around and go down to Anchorage and hopefully come back with 2 conference wins.
Talking with MSUB head women's basketball coach Kevin Woodin. Let's start with last week, opening the GNAC at home. 2 wins. Had to kind of grit out a couple of those quarters. Talk a little bit about what you saw that happened well for the team last week.
We were really pleased with the 2 wins against 2 quality teams in Central and NNU. I thought it was the most consistent we have played over a 2-game stretch all season. So I think that tough preseason helped prepare us. And a couple of the things that were most impressive was we were able to really protect the basketball against 2 up-tempo teams. I think we had 8 and 10 turnovers respectively in the 2 games. And then both of the teams have great length and athleticism on the glass, and I thought our players really competed hard on the rebounds. And I think it was close both days, but I thought that if we were going to win it, we had to be very competitive on the glass, and I thought we did that. I think it's getting better. We just kind of have to take what it gives us, but we're getting a little bit more balanced attack, and we need to score in a number of ways, whether through our defense, through transition, through half-court sets, maybe off of a turnover, those type of things. And I thought, we did that better. So we didn't have a 4, 5, 6 minute lull in either of the games. And early in the season, we would do that. We'd go a long stretch where we would not score or just go maybe 1 for 12 or 13, and we didn't have that, and I think that was real important. Well, Coach Herringer does a really nice job of as the head scouter with our opponents and breaking down what they're doing. So I think our players, first and foremost, they feel very prepared when they're playing a game against somebody, and then we just have to make some adjustments. But we seem to be best when we're playing multiple defenses, and then we're getting some really good bench play, which really helps so we're not quite as fatigued late in the game. And I think if you can continue to get that depth, that really helps. But I think our communication just between player to player on the court has really improved, and I see less and less defensive errors out there. Yeah, I'd agree. I think we're playing 8 people with significant minutes right now, and Taylor Edwards is getting healthier after being out for a while, so I think that will only help. But even if we go past that, even though those players haven't played a lot of minutes, they've really been valuable in practice. I mean, it's competitive, and they're hard workers, and you really need that depth in practice and in games. I think we need to go a little bit deeper than we have been, just the grind of January and February in the league, but I'm pleased with 2 people in particular have really been consistent off the bench. Vanessa Stavish has really improved defensively, but also giving us a spark offensively. She shoots the ball extremely well from the perimeter, but she's just doing her job, and really a nice improvement from a year ago. And then Marissa Van Atta has really upped her minutes, and she her athleticism and speed is definitely a factor out there, but she's playing with more poise and just really having an impact on the game when she comes in. I think they're gelling. They struggled the first 4 games. I mean, it seemed like 3 of them would be on and then a couple not, and they were playing. They wanted to play as a team, but they just weren't gelling. And I think over the last couple of weeks, it's gotten a lot better. We're getting more consistency from them from an individual standpoint, and that's just helping with our starts early in the game and in the second half. Alicia's established herself. I mean, she did a year ago. I mean, as one of the top players in our league and region, and she's so hard to guard because her versatility. She can score at a lot of different levels on the court. Janiel, I think, is really settling in. I thought last weekend was her best back-to-back performances. She anchored our defense, but she also hit some very important free throws of both nights, and is playing better on the offensive end. And Tiana and Monica are doing a good job as a tandem in the post. Tiana is a great foul shooter that sure helps you late in the games. Monica's hitting some big baskets and just playing the best basketball that she has, and I think she's only going to get better considering she has always had volleyball and come in late, so I think you can see her timing is better. And then Riley is starting to feel better physically. She'd been a little under the weather. She's still, the thing I like most about her is she does not turn the ball over very much. She protects the ball, and she's only a sophomore. She definitely has can still get better with her reads, but she's impacting the game in a positive sense. Well, we'd like to play well. We've won the previous 4, and they've been some really difficult games. I mean, it hasn't been easy, so I'm looking for a strong effort from Western. They have the Clinker gal who's playing very well. They started hot this year. I think they won I can't remember the first 7 or 8 games, and I think they lost a couple last weekend. But so I know they're well coached and they'll come in hungry. They have a nice balance to their team, and it's really nice to just have the one game. I think it did allow us to take a day off, which I think was muchly needed, and with finals coming up next week, this week is actually, for a lot of our players, even more intense than next week academically. So we look forward to the game. I hope we'll take another step forward before the end of the semester, and we're looking forward to it.